The Royal Enfield BR 650 is a new model from the Indian brand, and it's already almost perfect straight from the factory, especially in this color scheme. We are Iron Custom Motors, and today I'll tell you what we've done with this motorcycle. Let's start with the visual changes and accessories we've added to make this motorcycle even more stylish, even more of a scrambler. This is a small protective windscreen that effectively covers the entire instrument panel. There is also a rugged headlight grille, which looks very stylish and modern. You will find integrated tank pads that make it much more comfortable to grip the motorcycle with your knees, while also protecting the sides of the tank from unwanted scratches. Finally, there are soft fabric saddlebags where you can easily carry everything you might need for your journey. They're not bulky, they don't make the silhouette wide, they don't make it look like a touring bike, but at the same time, they definitely stay true to the style of this motorcycle. Also, to safely use these bags, we installed protective covers on the shock absorbers, since the bags rest directly against the shocks. Additionally, for convenience, under the tool cover, we installed a special connector that's wired to the battery for quick access to power for charging the battery, or if you need 12 volts somewhere, it's a very quick and convenient connector since it's not easy to get to the battery quickly. We also went ahead and additionally installed a specialized mounting bracket for a Garmin 700 outdoor navigator and a secure locking mechanism, so that you can conveniently and safely leave your helmet behind if needed. It is absolutely essential to install protective plating on the underside of these motorcycles, since it shields not only the vulnerable underbody, but also the critical oil filter as well. We already had a case when a Royal Enfield with the same engine, an Interceptor 650, came in, and it had several hits to the oil filter. It was simply a miracle that the motorcycle didn't lose all its oil somewhere in the mountains, where it sustained those oil filter damages. From a design standpoint, it's very important to protect the oil filter with a guard, because it's located in a very exposed spot, and it's unsafe to ride off-road with an unprotected oil filter. Visually, I really wanted to lighten up the look of the motorcycle, since the stock turn signals are quite large, long and wide, and they don't fit the style of this kind of bike at all. That's why we installed miniature Kellermann turn signals here, which are almost invisible when they are not in use. They don't visually burden the silhouette of the motorcycle at all, and they don't make it any wider, either at the front or the back. At the same time, they're street legal, they've passed all the necessary certifications, and you can pass any inspection with them. And finally, we replaced the muffler with an Italian Zard, which looks incredibly stylish and sounds unbelievably cool. Respect to the Italian craftsmen for such beauty. After we finished with the visual part and the motorcycle started to look amazing, we moved on to the rider's comfort and the custom solutions featured on this bike. We replaced the handlebars with ones that are higher and wider, and as a result, the motorcycle became much more comfortable to handle. The riding position became more upright and comfortable. To achieve this, we replaced not only the handlebars themselves, but also the throttle cables and the clutch cable. We worked on the wiring and electrics, since all of this needed to be raised and extended. We also wrapped the handlebar grips in genuine leather, changed the bar ends, but kept the chipped brake lever, since it's a battle scar left from some rides. It also turned out that the front brake pads from the factory are quite hard, and there are many reviews about the front brake being uncomfortable to use. After we replaced the front brake pads with synthetic ones from Brembo, everything became really good. The brakes are now predictably smooth, with no squeaks, no grinding, and no extra vibrations. It turned out that Royal Enfield has this particular feature: the front brake pads should ideally be replaced right away. The front fork comes stock from the factory as a 43mm Showa, an excellent fork for this motorcycle from a well-known brand. But the rider had some doubts about whether this fork was working properly. We decided to start by simply replacing the oil with medium viscosity 10W fork oil. After we disassembled the fork, we were very surprised because from one leg we drained 590 milliliters of oil, just as the manual specifies, but from the other leg there was only 300 milliliters of very dark oil with signs of wear from all the internal parts of that fork leg. we have a separate blog post where we talk about the front fork and how it came from the factory with not enough oil filled in. Because of this, there was significant wear and the fork did not function properly. After we cleaned everything, added the amount of oil specified in the manual, and properly bled the fork, which wasn't done at the factory, the front end of the motorcycle became a completely predictable, excellent Showa fork. And of course, the biggest problem with the Royal Enfield Bear, which is widely discussed on forums and in reviews, is the rear suspension, which is probably designed for 8 Indians. It is very stiff and causes a lot of discomfort while riding. This is a problem that needs to be addressed immediately. To solve this, we installed adjustable shock absorbers from YSS. The springs were selected according to the rider's weight and the amount of time he rides with a passenger. And after all these improvements, the motorcycle was transformed. It's stylish, it's beautiful, it's very comfortable and reliable. It can ride not only on asphalt, but also on light off-road terrain, which is exactly what it was made for. Iron Custom Motors. Fix your ride and fuel your soul.